If you're still looking for better dating advice, another texting trick on how to text him back, ways to make him fall in love with you, and for that guy that you want so badly to want you back, then this video is for you. I'm gonna drop something here and say something that may sting a little, and I say that from experience because I felt a little stung by it when I came to this realization. But you don't need better dating advice, you need a new identity. So just let that sink in a little bit. Because most women, they're not struggling in love because they don't know what to do. They're struggling in love because they're still making decisions and they're still operating from an old version of themselves that they know deep down inside they no longer want to be. You know the woman I'm talking about, the woman who fears being abandoned, the woman who over-explains herself hoping she'll be enough one day, the woman who over-gives hoping that she'll finally be chosen, the woman who mistakes attention for love, and that woman who so desperately wants that healthy relationship, but she's so addicted to chaos that she keeps choosing that over and over again. That's the problem. It's not a lack of strategy, my girl. It's your current identity. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jess. I'm a relationship coach, and I help you start becoming the woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire by raising your self-worth, your feminine confidence, and your standards so that you actually start to match the love and life that you're calling in. Because the truth is, your external relationships will always reflect your internal self-worth. And I know because I lived this, okay? I used to think that in love, it was all about being chosen. I had to be chosen by the man. If I could just be prettier, if I could just be calmer, more cool girl, low maintenance, a little less too much, then I would finally get that love that I so desperately wanted. I thought if I could just perform well enough, I could just become that perfect girl, I would then be worthy enough. That mindset had me attracting the same relationships over and over again. You know the kind of relationships I'm talking about. The emotionally unavailable men, the inconsistent men. I was chasing after potential instead of partnership. I was ignoring all the patterns and all the red flags that kept showing up. It was all different men, but it was all the same lesson for me. It's because I was dating from this woman who never felt enough. It was this identity where I need to be chosen. Pick me, you know that pick me energy? I had that. And that woman tolerated way more than she should have. She overgave, she overexplained herself, she ignored all the red flags that kept popping up. She stayed way too long in relationships that she had no business being in, and she would confuse this hot chemistry for compatibility when really it was just so chaotic. It's because my decision making, everything I was doing was being filtered through fear. It wasn't being filtered through high self-worth. This is why identity matters so much, especially when it comes to love and relationships, because your identity shapes your behaviors and your behavior shapes your outcomes. So what I'm trying to say is you do not get a different relationship by repeating the same emotional patterns. You get it by becoming somebody new. And if you're liking what I'm saying so far and you're like, hey, okay, I get it, but I don't want to do this alone, I do offer one-to-one coaching, and I only work with a small group of women at a time just because this is so high touch. So I will leave my book a call link for you to book a free call below to see if we're a good fit. And you need to remember that all of this is not mindset fluff. This is all backed by neuroscience. It is how our brain is wired. Your brain is constantly looking for evidence to support the identity you already believe is true. This is called confirmation bias. So if your identity is, I'm hard to love, I always get hurt, I have to work really hard for love, I have to prove myself, men always leave me, I'm never enough, then your brain will subconsciously seek evidence to prove that that is true. You see what I'm saying? And it's not because it hates you. Your brain is just trying to protect you. It just values that familiarity over your happiness because that's what makes your brain and nervous system feel safe. It wants what it knows, even if knowing what it knows is painful. This is why we repeat relationship patterns, because your nervous system is wired toward what feels familiar, not necessarily what's healthy, what's gonna make you happy, what's actually safe. So that emotionally unavailable guy, he feels familiar to you. That anxious, that overthinking that you do when you're in relationships, that's familiar to you. That inconsistency that still somehow always keeps you hooked. I say that because I know that, I've been there. That's familiar to you. And the nervous system, whatever it deems familiar, it also deems safe, even when it's hurting you. So that stable, healthy love, it can actually feel boring to us gals who are used to chaos at first, because peace feels unfamiliar to you. Your body's saying, wait, where's the anxiety at? I don't know what's going on here. Where's this emotional roller coaster I'm so used to being on? Where's the proving that I normally have to do? Like, all that stuff is what it's used to. This is why we have to do the identity work. Because as women, we sabotage this healthy love simply because we're not used to it. We trust the adrenaline more than we trust being peaceful and calm. But we have to remember that healthy love is not supposed to keep us in a state of survival mode. It's not supposed to make us feel like we're grasping for straws, like we're never safe, like anxiety is happening every single day. It's supposed to make you feel safe. Let's go even deeper on this. Your subconscious mind, it runs most of your life, okay? Most experts say that around 90 to 95% of your thoughts, behaviors, and your decisions are coming from the subconscious programming. Okay, 90 to 95%, that's a lot. That means only 5% is conscious. That means that you are not dating from your conscious desires, which is just 5%, okay? You're dating from your subconscious beliefs. 90 to 95% of what you're doing, you don't even realize you're doing it. So let's go even deeper here. Your subconscious mind runs most of your life, okay? So some experts say that anywhere from 90 to 95% of your thoughts, your behaviors, and your decisions are happening from subconscious programming. 90 to 95%, like what? That's a lot. That means that you are not dating from your conscious desires. You are dating from your subconscious beliefs. So the 5%, the conscious part of your brain, you can consciously be saying, I want a healthy, masculine, and emotionally available man in my life. Like, you can say that all you want. But if your subconscious beliefs are, love is hard, love is suffering, I don't deserve that man, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not enough in general, I am never chosen, then you will keep choosing this misalignment because your identity will win every single time. This is why affirmations alone don't work. You cannot journal your way out of an identity that you keep reinforcing with your consistent action. You have to become the woman who believes differently. This is what's called identity shifting. Now, it's not pretending, it's not delusion. We're just trying to rewire so that you can shift your identity and become someone new. So here's your 3 steps to shifting your identity. Step 1, define your new identity. So like we talked about, before your relationships change, your identity has to change. So you have to get really clear on who you've been and who you want to become, because we don't want to be that old version of ourselves that has those bad behaviors and bad habits that keep leading us down the path where we're just calling in the emotionally unavailable, inconsistent relationships that eventually don't make us happy at all. So you're gonna need to ask yourself some questions here. You're gonna need to ask, who is the woman who already has my dream relationship and my dream life? Like, how does she act? What does she believe about herself? How does she move throughout her day? Like, really get clear on all the personality traits and characteristics that that woman has, because you need to become her in order to match that level of love and life you truly want. Step 2, you have to start moving like her, like today. Now, this is where most women get stuck, because in reality, like, we're not this new version of ourselves yet, but we need to start rewiring, and we can't wait until we feel ready in order to start making moves on this new identity. We can't wait to feel confident or feel worthy. We have to feel all those things before any of that stuff comes. Identity work is built around action. We can start out really simple with this, because I know the logical brain takes over and is like, wait, girl, you are not this person yet. And that's okay. Remember, it's just doing its job. We can thank it for protecting us, but we do have to start making moves here, because the more action we can take on this new identity, the more your brain will begin to understand, and the faster it will start to rewire. With this, we can start small. We can just think, okay, the future me, the woman I'm becoming, how does she dress? How does she start her day? How does she end her day? What habits does she have? What does she prioritize for herself throughout her day? And we can just take all that information that we've just collected and be like, okay, how can I start to implement this today? How can I start doing this today to start showing up as my future self? Then we can take this a little bit further and apply it to our personality and be like, okay, so my future self, she doesn't tolerate confusion. So I'm not gonna entertain any mixed signals that come my way. I'm simply going to look at them and then walk away, or whatever that is for you, to make you feel like you're actually stepping into that new version of yourself. But you can start small here and work your way up. And it really helps to just review this future woman that you're becoming every day. Maybe that's part of your new habit. Every single morning, reviewing this future you list. So we have to remember that we don't become our future selves. We don't become this woman that we want to be by just sitting still, hoping and wishing. We have to make decisions like her. We have to take action on this, even when it's uncomfortable. We have to let our brain know this is familiar. This woman I am is familiar. This is what's safe. Step 3, find the evidence that you are her now. Your brain, it needs proof that you are becoming this new woman. This is where neuroscience becomes really important because it's proven, okay? So your brain is constantly already looking for evidence to support what you already believe about yourself. So if your identity is, I'm not enough, it'll keep looking for evidence to prove that true. But if you're choosing differently, your brain will start to collect evidence to prove that. So it's every boundary you hold, every standard that you honor for yourself, every red flag that you stop entertaining, every time you choose peace over that chaos that sometimes we get so addicted to, every time that you just say to yourself, I am no longer that woman, you are showing your brain that you are becoming this new identity, and your brain will continue to look for evidence to support that. That's how identity shifts become permanent, and it takes practice over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It is built through consistency. So we really need to make this a practice in our daily lives so that we can step into and become this new version of ourselves, so we can attract the relationship we truly want. And once that shift happens inside of you, you will feel it because your energy will completely change. And of course, this means that your relationships will change too, because you do naturally. So you'll stop asking questions like, how do I get the love? And you'll start asking, who do I need to become to receive the kind of love I truly want? It's really cool because it puts the onus on us. It helps us take responsibility for our lives, which gives us total control over our reality and what we're creating. Yes, this all has to do too with manifestation. So I know manifestation is a little woo-woo, but manifestation, it's not just vision boards. It's not just scripting and writing down and sitting back hoping and praying and saying, universe, show me the way. It's identity work. Like, that is what manifestation is. We have to become this new identity to call in anything that we want in life. Because if we raise our vibration, if we raise our frequency, the universe will match that, and it will give us what our match is. Because you do not attract what you want, you attract who you are being. You attract who you are. You attract what you're available for, what your brain and nervous system can handle. And remember, it can handle only what feels familiar. Your self-concept, it will create your entire reality. Manifestation, a little woo-woo to some, but we need the energetic and the physical component in order to create our reality. And so this identity shifting is big in the energetics, but also we need to take that physical action to truly make a change. I'll bring in a little science just to support the manifestation a little bit because, you know, we love science. We love being able to see the practicality, helps our brains just grasp the topic a little bit more. So quantum physics talks about observation influencing the outcome of things. Basically, where attention goes, energy flows, and that's what's created in our reality. What you emotionally rehearse, what you truly believe, what you expect, these shape your perception and therefore your decisions. So you'll start to notice opportunities differently. You'll tolerate things differently. You'll choose differently. That creates different results. This is why two women can date the same type of man and have two completely different experiences. Okay, so one woman says, I hope he likes me. And then the other woman, she says, let's see if he's right for me. Same man, two totally different identities, different outcomes. One's auditioning, the other one is discerning. And that difference, it changes everything. I know because I have been both women, okay? I've been the auditioning one and the discerning one. But this is why I tell women, stop asking, how do I get him to pick me? How do I get him to choose me? And start asking, does this man even deserve access to me? That's a question that a woman with high self-worth asks. And this is not egoic. This is not from the ego. This is your self-worth. It's what you know deep down you truly deserve, because what you truly want in life, you can have. You just need to rise so that it can meet you there. So we have to remember that self-worth, it's not loud, it's not boisterous, it's not, yelling and screaming at the top of our lungs. It's simply our standards. It's our boundaries. It's our emotional regulation. It's our discipline. It's walking away when something destroys our peace. It's being willing to disappoint people so you stop disappointing yourself. It's prioritizing yourself. Like, this is real feminine power. A woman with high self-worth and a strong identity, she doesn't need to play games. She is the standard now. And we have to remember, this work is not about becoming cold. It's just about getting clarity. It's not about never being vulnerable. It's about no longer abandoning yourself in the name of love. It's about moving from desperation to discernment. These are all so important for us as women, from proving to receiving, from chasing to choosing. We get to choose. We have total control over our lives. That changes your relationships. And honestly, it changes your entire life once you start this work. It's pretty incredible, because the same woman who settles often in love, guess what? She's gonna settle in business. She's gonna settle in friendships. She's gonna settle in money. She's gonna settle in lifestyle. Identity literally touches everything around you, every single part of your life. This is why self-love is the foundation in this work. Because if you do not believe you are worthy, you will accept breadcrumbs and you'll call it gratitude. Oh, thank you so much. But no. You will stay in, almost love, and you'll call it patience. You will shrink your standards and you'll call yourself, oh no, I'm just being realistic. This is logical. No. We gotta cut that from our being, okay? You do not need better advice. You don't need better dating advice. You need to upgrade your self-concept. You need to upgrade your standards. You need to shift your internal story, because it's running your life. The relationship and life you want will not come from better tactics. It comes from becoming the woman who no longer entertains less than she desires. The woman who knows peace, calm, that is her standard. The woman who trusts herself. The woman who no longer needs this external validation to feel worthy. The woman who attracts differently because her vibe is so high, she knows her self-worth, that only things that match that, she can entertain. It's universal law. Your life really changes when you stop asking, how do I get the love I desire? And you start asking, who do I need to become so that I can receive the love I desire? That's the real work. That's the shift that we need. Okay, so a quick recap on how to shift your identity. 1, define your new identity or your future self, the woman you're becoming. 2, move like her now, move like her today. And 3, collect evidence so that your brain begins to believe you. So your brain starts to find the proof as to where all of this is true. All right, that's it for this video. I would love to hear your biggest takeaway. So please drop me a comment below. And if you are ready to go deeper on this work, I will leave my book a call link for you in the description below so that you can book a call and we can see if we're a good fit to work together. But until next time, you guys, remember, self-love isn't optional. It's a foundation for the relationship and life you desire. All right, I'll see you in the next video.